Hi everyone, and welcome to a new collaboration between myself, Webb Gaming, M&J Games with Michael and Jasmine, and I am Matty. They are with me now. Hi guys.
Hello!
What's up, guys?
So this is a new collaboration, which is going to be a collab campaign map makeover. So there's going to be 25 campaign parks that we are going to try and make as good looking as we can. There are some rules. So Matty, what are the rules we got?
So, some very quick basic rules. We're not allowed to delete the path that is already there. We have to work with the path constraints that we have, with the exception of ride entrances and exits. We have to stick with the theme of the map, so i.e. pirate in this one. And we're not allowed to do any major terrain forming. So any hills or mountains or water features that are already there have to stay in place. We can do little minor ones like flattening the terrain to put a ride there, for instance, or a little water feature, but the main big features have to stay. So yeah, really making it difficult for ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be adventurous, and I should say before we get into it that it was just myself, Matty, and Jasmine that contributed to this park, as Michael was unavailable, but he will be with us in the next one, so don't worry, he will be with us. And without further ado, this is what the park looks like now. So, this is the park that we have us three created from the empty park. We are going to be walking around the park from guest level. I should mention, because I'm not sure if it was very clear, but every episode on our channels is going to be effectively a park spotlight. Obviously, we're starting with me because I started on this park. The next episode, I believe, will be with Michael and Jasmine, as they will be starting the next park. So without further ado, should we get into it?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm excited for this.
So we're down here at the entrance, and away we go. So as we come into this lovely pirate park, we have some destroyed bins. That is a great start.
Vandals instantly.
Yeah. So, as we mentioned earlier, I started with the entrance. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I
After
love
you,
what you
Jasmine.
did. I love what you did with the just everything that you did with the buildings and the style, and you had the rope. It really feels rustic but also piratey, at the same time. And I feel like this entrance is it's kind of like an understated entrance, but when you walk out into when you get further out, it looks really good having the lake uh, there, and you can kind of see the whole park. So Corey always does such a good job with his buildings.
Yeah, I
So
completely agree with Jasmine on that one. I can't believe how quickly you put this together as well. I mean, when we had this idea, you pretty much built this entrance within about 24 hours of us deciding this is what we were going to do. And I think me, Michael, and Jasmine all said, like, how are you going to build an entrance in that area? I mean, if you zoom out, Corey, and just have a look at that entrance from an overview, when you actually see the limited amount of space that you were given, had the way that you've managed to incorporate that entrance in there is mind-blowing, because I didn't know if it was possible. Not gonna lie, I didn't know if it was possible. And then not only did you do it, but you did it in about 24 hours. And you were
Yeah.
like, there you go, entrance is done. And we were like, what? How have you done that already? And it looks ace. Like Jasmine said, you've really nailed that pirate theme, and like kind of the texture of wood that you've used. It just complements. This is kind of like what the park started as a foundation, and what we were able to do moving forward.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean,
yeah.
as you say, it is quite a limited space, but for me, I like the interaction with the mountains and how the buildings are sort of embedded in the mountains, as if. But while I'm floating here, if I just float over this way a little bit just to show.
I mean, this is more and more stuff that we're going to experience. The more we go through this collab project, we are going to find ourselves stuck in positions because the terrain is just going to limit us so much. And that's partly the idea behind this series, is that we are going to be challenged. This is not going to be easy by any stretch of the imagination, because some of these maps are going to be hard as nails to work around.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And that is,
yeah.
We're going to have to
that's why
think
we do
outside
it.
the box.
Exactly, but that's why we do it, isn't it? To challenge ourselves and become better builders.
I don't
But
know
yeah,
about
let's-
that. Just to have a laugh.
and that. Let's carry on. I just wanted to show a little bit of because obviously, you know, we'd like to put our touches of realism into it as well. So we've got a little sort of backstage area over there.
You can tell that you've been working with Michael. Michael's rubbed off on you. He really
definitely
has.
Yeah.
He definitely has. So yeah, as we walk into the park, it's just this lovely area.
I love all this area. I love all that scene that you can like set up behind. I think that's ace. I think that's really good.
Gotta love the pirates singing. They're brilliant. Especially that monkey. Yeah, and so then we go into this lovely little cave, and Jasmine took over the park at this point. Jasmine, do you want to talk us
Yeah.
through?
Yeah, so I thought that we needed some sort of shop in here. So I put this little smoothie shop, and this was the very first thing that I made for this park, and it really got me excited about just this whole pirate theme. Because normally I don't build pirate anything in any of my parks, so this was a really good challenge. But I did smooth a little bit of the cave ceiling, I guess, just to fit in that building, because the top part was kind of going into the cave, like the rock, I guess. So I just lifted that up just a tad, so I feel like that's okay. And for that sign there that was kind of sticking up.
Yeah, that's within the
But
rules. Yeah, that's fine.
yeah. But other than that, everything else that's exactly what it is on in the map. So, but yeah, I really like how this little cave turned out.
I mean, Jasmine's foliage work just always blows me away. And even if you like kind of just if you stopped right where you are right now, you can only see maybe what, four, maybe five different pieces of foliage, like differing types. But the way that she's like kind of incorporated them look really natural. It's like it's not done over the top. And your foliage work just continues to just impress me and get better and better with each time I see it, Jasmine. And I love this. And like kind of as we move further into the area that you built, your foliage work is just outstanding.
Yeah,
Thank
indeed,
you,
I agree.
Maddie.
I agree, 100%. You are
I
very,
love
very
these little
talented.
like tiny palm plants, whatever they are. I just think they're so cute. So I put those
Mini palm
everywhere.
trees.
Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
are, and they really do add to that piratey theme, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so we're still in the area that Jasmine built. So Jasmine, take it away.
Yeah, so I made this sort of little tiny building for the ATM and the fortune teller. And then I put this little archway here because, I mean, we have to have that in our pirate map.
Naturally.
So, and then I believe there was like a tiny little path right here where the whirlywig is. So I knew I wanted to have just a little ride right here. So I thought, you know, the whirly rig has to be in this park. So I thought that'd be a good first ride for the park. And then I made, just took as much of the pirate scenery as possible, and kind of made this combo food building and little hat shop. And so I said pirate hats here, but there actually are no pirate hats in the in the
Well,
game
that
in the
sucks.
yeah. So I was like, what the heck?
Do you
Anyway,
know? Do
but
you know
there
what that sign
actually are
should have
no
said?
pirate hats.
That sign should have said, "Here be pirate hats."
Oh yeah, yeah, that would have been a good touch.
So,
So
if we continue on
yeah,
walking around, where am I going? Let's go. Should we go this way first?
Yeah, sure.
Corey, can you just have a look at them rocks just to your left? Just back up ever so slightly. I mean, look at this. That is just, it's nothing like mind blowing in the sense of like kind of differing types of foliage, but the way that Jasmine has done them, just my previous point before, all that is some rocks and some foliage holding up a flat
Hmm.
ride, but it looks so nicely done. And Jazz, I'm blown away by that. I think it looks so beautifully integrated into the area.
Well, I've got to say that Michael actually gave me the idea because that flat ride was hanging, and the default is to have the post or whatever, and it looks so ugly. And he was like, "Why don't you put rocks there?" So I put rocks there, and then I was like, "Well, it's just a bunch of rocks." So then I added the flowers, so it really came together.
It looks ace.
Um,
Yeah, I've got to agree with
Thank
Matty.
you.
It does look absolutely amazing.
Yeah, I did kind of cheat a little bit, and I copy and pasted some of the rock formation around, but I think
We
it
all
looks
do that.
good. Yeah, I just think it looks really good along this path. I just felt like something needed to be here, so
Oh, Corey, we should probably explain as well. So all this to our right here makes it look like kind of we just couldn't be bothered to fill that in. That's actually the edge of the map.
yeah.
It's such a small map. This is. We had like barely any room, did we? At all.
Hmm.
That's right. Yeah, no, the
Yeah,
map
so I
is
tried to
really tiny. Sorry, Jasmine, go
yeah,
on.
I Oh, sorry. No, I tried to place, as many trees as I could on that side, but obviously it cut off, or it wouldn't let me place like ginormous trees. So, yeah.
Well, what we could manage to do is you've done a really good job.
It was part of the challenge, wasn't it, for
Hmm.
this collab project, was some of the maps are
Hmm.
really small. So rather than just being given this great big biome, the same way that like any other project ever goes ever, by using the campaign maps, they are actually different size biomes, and we can actually kind of like have that restriction in size, which you don't normally have in Planet Coaster. You're not normally limited by size, and we
Hmm. Yeah.
intentionally kind of like made it harder for ourselves by making these smaller areas.
Yeah.
That's very
And
true.
the terrain was a challenge, but I actually do like that we are working with the terrain because it really does make the pathing more interesting, having some, hills, and not everything is perfectly straight. So, I think it turned out really well.
Indeed, I
Yeah,
think
so
you've
I
done
just
an
put
absolutely
a
great job with this, with the queue, with the theming. Obviously, as you say, it's quite hard um,
yeah.
working with the terrain to add theming to the queue and rides. But I think you've done a good job here. It's not overly themed. It's not too under themed either. So you've done a great job there, and I love this little archway with
Yeah,
these
I like
statues.
that.
As you're walking up here,
Thank
they just
you.
tower over you. That's a great,
Hmm.
that's a
It
good
looks really
screenshot
good,
there.
doesn't it?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It's funny because a lot of people will say that when you're starting a new park, you should always do your terraforming first and then work around the terraforming. And I've seen a couple of people say this over the time. And by doing this
Hmm.
challenge, we're having maps that are already terraformed. So we've, in like in that aspect, we've made it a little bit easier for ourselves, I guess.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true. Again, with this octopus queue, just the foliage is just outstanding. Um, it's brilliant all the way around.
Thank you.
Very,
Yeah, I
very
really had a
pretty.
hard time with this with this queue, and I knew I wanted to have bubbles. So I was like, I guess I'll put some like a fountain, and then once I made that, then I was like, okay, I can just work from that. And then I found these little vintage archways and just kind of went with it. So, and I think it turned out really good.
No, again, I agree. You've done an absolutely amazing job with the foliage there and the queue line. Really immersive walking through that. It's quite nice to look at.
it's it's really funny because it's very Jasmine as well. I am kind of getting recollections of Sweetheart Lane, and I can never remember the name of your second park, Jazz. I don't know why I can never remember the name of it.
Which one? Lumen Park, that one?
Lumin Park, that's the one. Lumin
Oh,
Park.
okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting very much senses of them. Only they're not at night. You've got a very distinctive build style. And I think it's really unique as well. It's so you. I can look at things and think, oh, that's Jasmine who made that. And I love the fact that we're going to be able to do this project and we're going to have our own little stamps on it around the park. And people are going to be able to look and be like, oh, we know that Jasmine built that part.
Well, it was
true.
funny because when I started building in this area, and I just kind of kept going, and I was like, I was trying to save space for Michael, and he was like, "Oh, you got it." And so then I was like, okay, well, I guess he's sitting this one out. So then I just, I was actually happy that he let me have this one.
I'm
So
sad that Michael sat this one out, I'm not going to lie, but it makes me
yeah,
more excited for him to take part in episode 2.
yeah, yeah.
Very true. Very true. Without, well, with that, shall I say, it brings us to our first roller coaster. Okay, so there we go. What are your thoughts, Matty?
A really nice little coaster. I like the way that you've incorporated into this area, and I love the station build as well. And I like how it goes over the station as well. I thought it was really good, really quaint little coaster. Maybe a little bit extreme for kids potentially, with it kind of like spinning. It'd kind of like
Yeah.
be like kind of maybe your like kind of younger teens kind of thing. So not quite your white knuckle, but then also not your younger kids at the same time. It would be quite a niche kind of audience potentially. But yeah, a really nice little coaster, quite compact, small little thumbnail footprint even.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I liked it.
I agree with you, Matty. I love the station as well, and I think it does fit perfectly in this little area that Jasmine's built. And it's again, it's something to do with the sight lines. I really like, and like I think it is like you say, it's not for the small kids, but yeah, very nice, neat little coaster. Well done, Jasmine.
Yeah, well done, Jazz. I like that.
Thank you.
Right, and
Can I just say
so
as well, I know I was waffling away before as you walked past them, but that little toilet block is ace that Jazz has built. As you walked past it before, I think we were like kind of discussing something else. But I really like that little toilet block. I think it's a really like kind of quaint little building.
yeah, it's very neat, isn't it? It's
It's
almost like
it's different. I like the lips on the top, kind of like. Is it? Would it be like the lisps? What are they called? Like kind of them little bits that kind of go up over the top.
I have no idea. Just
Yeah, I don't know.
let's say the trim.
I
don't
liked it
know.
anyway.
Thank you. Yeah, I was trying to go for like a sort of a nautical feel, so
Well, you nailed it. I like that building. It's lovely, and that whole area is just awesome. And we're staying in Jasmine's area because we have another path to venture down beside this lovely building.
Jasmine, you did a really good job trimming that building as well, and I liked the kind of like different colours that you used on it. I don't think we actually touched upon that before. You can see that there's trimming all the way around it, and I like the fact that you've used some red trimming on it as well, just kind of like
yeah.
break up the building, and it really works as well.
Yeah, I actually, for that building and the coaster station for Whirlpool, I really was kind of inspired by Corey's buildings that he made. So I was kind of trying to repeat some of the styling, but have a little bit of a different touch to it. So,
Yeah.
Again, you've done a good job.
but thank you. But yeah, so I built this Tidal Wave coaster, and I asked one of the guys to make either a sign or a station, and Corey made this sign, and it looks amazing. And he also added the little water special effects, so it looks so good. And I really appreciate him doing that for me.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously Jasmine asked me to do this sign, and my first thoughts was, where am I going to put it? How big can I make it? But there was this nice little area here, but it was a bit sloped. So I thought, okay, so I built the sign first, I put it in the area, and then I thought, right, now what can I do with it? And with the theme of the ride, as the ride comes around the back, which you'll see now, I sort of triggered a little tidal wave that comes out over the rocks.
That is
Yeah, that
awesome.
just
I'd actually
yeah,
missed
that's
that. I'd
perfect.
never even noticed that you'd done that, Corey. That looks ace.
Yeah, so every time the roller coaster comes around, the little tidal wave triggers all the way down to the little pool at the bottom there. Yeah, but this is. Oh wait, I did the building as well, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. I made the queue, but Corey made the station and the sign and that little entrance sign. Just everything just looks so good.
That sign is really cool. It's really unique.
Yeah, I mean, you get that in most sort of theme parks. Well, I noticed anyway. I noticed the silly little things, but in most theme parks, you always have like the big sign that everyone can see to obviously entice you to come down. But then no one ever really notices the little signs that are at the actual entrance.
Hmm.
And
Hmm.
yeah, I just thought I'd do that, and obviously right next to the little tiny backstage area, which is quite overgrown, but obviously leads around to the back door. But we'll come away from that. Yeah, and then obviously we've got the very well themed queue line, which is very busy.
Yeah.
And again, look at the sight lines. It's just
Yeah, they look awesome.
amazing.
Yeah.
Let's not spoil it.
One thing that
um,
I really struggled with this park is obviously we're limited with paint tools as well. We can't choose what we come in with, can we?
Mm-hmm.
So
that is true.
we couldn't do tarmac or anything, could we? We didn't have tarmac. We didn't have leaves. We didn't have dry grass. These are three of my go-to paints, and I had none of them. I was
Very true.
so out of my comfort zone. It was horrible.
Yeah, that's very true. And again, it adds to the challenge of making a good looking park with limited tools. But I think we pulled it off, I hope.
I think so.
Hmm. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so we're on to our next roller coaster, which is Tidal Wave. That was Tidal Wave. And if I may, I would like to start with my opinions first. I loved it. It was a brilliant little coaster. Um, very smooth, and I've got to say my favourite part is how it goes sort of up and down, like just like waves. Um, Brilliant. Really, really fits in this area well as well. Great job again, Jasmine. Lovely little coaster. Matty,
Thank
what do you
you.
think?
I completely agree with everything that you've just said. I really like the colouring of it. I really like the theme. I think it's been incorporated into Jasmine's area really well. And just what you said, it's funny how you just said the elevation changes and the up and the down, how it feels like being on waves. I hadn't thought that actually until you've just said it. And now as we're looking at it as an overview, I can see it. And it looks really good. And I love there how it goes around that tree. And that final inversion, just before it goes into the station, the barrel roll, is absolutely awesome. I really like that. And Jasmine said as well that that's actually a custom made inversion as well. So even better. Even more
Yeah,
impressive. Your coasters, as time goes on, the same as your foliage, you can just see it improving, like park by park, coaster by coaster. You can see your improvement as a creator all the time, and from where you are now, I can't wait to see where you are in 12 months. This whole area, you've nailed the pirate theme. It feels all piratey all the way through, despite the fact that you've gone quite vibrant and lots of differing colours. It still feels piratey.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I view my area as kind of like the kiddie area for the little kids, and then yeah, but I think it turned out pretty well.
Yeah, again, I agree. You have absolutely nailed the theming on this one. Two great coasters, and an all-round lovely area. And that brings us to the end of your area, Jasmine. And then we will come across the bridge. Again, with some great views.
who did the waterfall?
Oh yeah, I made the waterfall.
I'm so proud. It was like a proud daddy moment when I saw this. I was like, they put a waterfall in.
Well, I think since we did the August water park contest, I've really been thinking about water a lot. So,
Welcome
That
to
little
Matty's
island
world.
just to your right, I did that as well. It's just like a little tiny little Easter egg. So down here, it's kind of like on that like little island. It's maybe just a little tiny little Easter egg just down there. So this is
oh,
like kind of just blank originally. All these little islands were all blank. So I kind of like just stuck some stuff on there just to make it look a bit more different.
send help.
Very nice
So
touch.
yeah, they're lost.
Very nice touch.
I mean, they could literally just walk across and climb up the rocks, but no.
Pirates
that's
don't need
cute.
help.
I like how Jasmine, on that bridge, I like how Jasmine's put the vents at the bottom where the water would still continue to go through. So, like,
yeah.
kind of obviously, you've made sure that it's not all blocked off, and you've left them little segues there, just so the water can still continue to flow through. And I like the fact that you've thought about that and making sure it's not a dam kind of thing.
And we head into Matty's area. So, Matty, would you like to explain or take us through your
Yeah,
area?
which way shall we go round? Do you think? Shall we go left? Let's go left, shall we, around it?
Left.
So we've got this great big open area, which I didn't really know what to do with, to be honest, because it was such a big open expanse. So on the left-hand side here, I wanted to kind of carry on this kind of theming of what we've done as we went round so far. So I put this flat ride here on this kind of almost like pirate villa kind of thing, and the queue line actually goes like through the building and then comes out the other side. But then like people who may not want to go on because it goes upside down and things like that, they can just sit just at the front and just wait for people just to go through. And then like you can look through on the left and see like Jasmine's side of the park as you were there,
Oh yeah.
and you can see Tidal Wave that goes off, and then you come out into like this open courtyard area where the flat ride is, and then as you come out the exit there are rides there straight away.
Oh yeah, I love that with the little shops.
And I've also kind of like tried to do menus above every single shop as well. So I just used the signs that you just put, and then I just tilted them a little bit, and then just put 3 above each shop. But did you realise there's no coffee sign? There isn't actually a
Oh,
Street Fox coffee sign in the game
I didn't know that.
for some reason, so I had to use the Just Ribbon one. Which
Closest one in
some of the
terms of-
shops don't have the signs, and it doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't.
yeah.
But no, that's a nice touch. That I really like that. Ooh.
And then this little walkway kind of like segues onto something that you had built, Corey, and I can like just put the little walkway round onto that. And then we've got these little custom benches that I'd made, because benches is one of my big bugbears in the game. You can't put benches wherever you want. So I thought, you know what, I'm just going to make my own. So I did.
Oh, that looks good. That looks really
And
good.
yeah, it's just like some wooden beams with a TV mount and some music notes, and that's it. And then
Yeah,
you've got this
those-
amazing sightline of all this is what Corey's built, and this, I love this, Corey. I think this is incredible.
Thank you. Firstly, let me just say those benches are amazing, and to be honest with you, I'm definitely going to be nicking them off you at some point to put in my own parks, because they are just. I can't even. I haven't even got a word for it. They're just really good.
I'll put them on the workshop. I'll make sure that they go on the workshop, because I think that they would actually be handy for people as well. Because I think like not being able to put benches wherever you want is a big bugbear of everybody's.
Yeah,
So
definitely. So yeah, this bit I took back the park for a couple of days. Matty had an area in this part that he wasn't too sure what to fill in here, so he gave the part back to me and asked me to do something. As you can see, I built a log flume. This is actually the station building here. This whole big building is the station.
Yeah, I love that station you made.
And up here it's just a little viewing area and a little seating area as well. So obviously you can come up here and sit down and eat your lunch and have a nice view of the log flume.
that is mega.
Little touch as well to get people to actually come up here and look out there is I've put some like vista points inside the beams.
Oh, that's clever.
Oh, yeah.
So people actually come up here and stand up against this rail and have a look out, which I think is quite cool.
That's fantastic and really realistic as well. Again, just a place where people may not want to go on the ride or something like that. So, like, you just chuck your bags at them, and then they go sit up there and be able to watch the friends and family whilst they're on the ride. Just that
Yeah, exactly.
realistic
That's
touch.
exactly it. And like again, I always tell people what my thoughts were when building these sort of things. But my thoughts for this one was like at Chesington, for example, when you come down that drop on Tiger Rock, I think it is now called. You always see families taking photos and stuff as people come down. And I thought that was a good sort of photo opportunity for people coming down the drop.
Yeah.
And that's what sort of where I went for it. I named this our village. You'll see why in a minute when we go on the ride. But our village log flume. I'm not going to lie.
Why are pirates pirates? Because they are.
How did you do that? The sign for the log flume part? Is that just two signs together?
yeah,
for the...
it's actually
okay.
two signs and some basic shapes. The only problem
okay.
with doing this,
Nice.
it looks good like that, but the only problem with it is when you zoom out a bit, you can see the other sign.
Oh.
Yeah, that's the only trouble. But up close, it looks great.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I've put a lot more effort into the exterior of the building than the queue. The queue is literally just walls. There isn't much in there at all. So, if I may, I'm going to avoid. Actually, no, I'll go for it. But there's no theming in here at all. So, apologies.
Whilst we're trying to make like really good parks, at the same time, in the back of our minds, we are trying to think of how often we're going to be able to upload this series. So we can't spend months and months per park. So there are going to be like kind of maybe some little things that do get overlooked, i.e. a queue line here and there and things like that. So
yeah,
if we want this series to be out maybe one a month, which is probably what we're thinking, maybe one a month, one every 3 weeks, there are going to have to be things that are going to have to be missed, aren't there? There's no other way around it, really.
Yeah, that's it. And bear in mind, obviously, I did only have this back for, I think it was, what, a day and a half, maybe 2 days?
It wasn't long, was it? We've done this entire park in 2 weeks.
I think a bit less than that, maybe a week and a half. But
it's not long, is it? Yeah, it's about a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Yeah, so I think this is something that neither of you have seen yet, but I added an addition to the station.
Oh.
So obviously the queue line comes up to the roof here. You get a lovely view across the park. But as you come into the station, we've got the baggage hold.
Oh, that's interesting.
I like that.
Yeah.
So just built a little building inside the building, just to, chuck your bag in there if you don't want to take it on the ride with you, and then some sort of fencing or.
I like
this whole
dividers.
station. Yeah. This whole station is just really quaint.
Got the fruit baskets.
some custom beams.
Yeah,
Yeah,
really
so-
nicely done. We're gonna have to make sure we look at this park at night because
Yes.
there's some
as soon as we've been
amazing
around the park,
lighting
we'll
in this
check it
park.
out at night.
Yeah.
So you can see why I asked Corey or Maddie to make a station for me, because they just do such a good job.
Right, so should we take a ride on the log flume?
Let's do it.
Go
Yeah.
on, mate. And that was our village.
Our village.
Our village. So, what did you think, Jasmine? What did you think of that?
Yeah, no, I think that was amazing. I love just all of the theming that you put into it, and how the ride kind of curves into itself. It's kind of it interacts with itself, which is really great. And then, there's that interaction too with the Tidal Wave coaster. It's just such a good job.
Excellent.
I mean, yeah. What Jasmine said, I think this is amazing. And what blows my mind is that you did this in a day and a half. I'm not going to lie, I burnt myself out on the game with trying to get the contest submission part finished in time. And then I spent a solid 2 days building something else, just that we'll have a look at in a bit shortly in this park. I was done. I just needed to put Planet Coaster down for a couple of days. And I said, Corey, I said, I'm sorry, mate. I said, but I know that I'm supposed to take this side of the park, but do you want to just add something here? So he took it for a day and a half, and he gives it me back like this. And I'm like, how have you done that in a day and a half? It's incredible. And for a log flume, it's really short as well. But that's a good thing. I find a lot of log flumes, mine included, go on for too long. They're good 3.5 minute rides. And whilst that may be realistic in the sense of when you go on a log flume in real life, they are about 3 or 4 minutes. For Planet Coaster, that's a long time to sit on a log flume. And yeah, I think this is brilliant. Tip me hat off to you, Corey. I think you did an amazing job, mate.
And
Thank
then
you, I
you went
appreciate that.
around, you went underneath that little rock formation, or kind of in between it, towards the back there, and
Oh,
um,
yeah.
and yeah, that looks so good. And
And the
that,
Pirate Village as well as Ace.
yeah.
I'm sorry, our village was
Our
Ace.
village.
Oh, I
Oh,
see a
brilliant. Thanks, guys.
pirate. I see a pirate over there on that little building.
Oh yeah, there's a pirate sat by that little building, look. Just down there to the left.
Ah, there he is.
So just off camera, Corey was panicking that he thought he'd lost a pirate and he was getting really upset about it.
I was looking
So
at
we
the
had to console him,
building.
but we found him, it's okay.
Yeah, he's there.
no.
He's still there.
Great job,
There
Corey.
you go.
Really nice
I
build,
can
mate.
breathe again. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Appreciate that. So let's continue with the park. So we come out the exit, and we have this beautifully sheltered bumper cars.
So now I'm looking at this, I do kind of like find myself regretting my life choices. I'm not going to lie.
Oh,
Now,
why?
I like the queue line. I like what I've done with that, and I like the shelter that goes over
I think
the
I know what you're
bumper
going to say.
cars. It doesn't look realistic in the sense of why would
Anybody
you
could
bother
just walk
queuing
on.
when you can just walk on it?
Exactly. I was
I
just thinking
haven't
that.
fenced off anywhere else, and now I'm looking at it. I think it looks silly. So maybe that could be something before this goes on the workshop. Maybe. So this will be going on the workshop on the day of this video releasing. But maybe before then, maybe Corey, if you maybe just want to, if you would like to maybe just add some fencing around, if you'd like to do that potentially. I just think it looks a little bit silly in the sense that why would you bother queuing when you can just hop on and walk on at any point of your choosing?
I never noticed that until I walked out of this exit just now.
Same. Yeah, exactly the same. And it was you walking out that exit, and I was like, oh, look, we can just go and walk straight onto the bumper cars. And then there's going to be people in the queue like, oi, we've been queuing here for half an hour.
I mean, that queue line's pretty full. Everyone loves
It
the bumper
is. It's
cars.
quite a
Yeah.
popular ride.
Brilliant.
But I just wanted to do something different. I wanted a bumper cars, but I didn't like the top. So I was like, well, how can I put a bumper cars in, but not have the top? And I was like, I'll just put a building over the top of it. So I did.
No, you've done a great job. I really like that. It's a really nice covering. Really nice. I forget what they're called. Let's just say cover.
We're going to say
Skin.
cover.
Ride skin. That's the one. Ride
No,
skin.
that'll do. Yeah, ride skin. Yeah, we'll go with that.
That's a really nice ride skin. I like that a lot.
Don't miss your
yeah.
backstage area.
This is my backstage area. Michael-esque, sort of. Not really. It's just a bit plain. Just a couple of bins. And a back door. But yeah, some nice little planters. This ride, Matty, Matty, you actually placed this ride, didn't you?
I just placed it down. So when I got the area, I literally just placed rides down. That's literally all I did. I came into the area and placed the bumper cars, the pirate ship, the plane, and I literally just threw them down. And then it was like, right, I'll theme around them. And then you also did this part as well, didn't you? And now I didn't ask you to do this, but I'm so glad that you did because it looks ace. It's simple but effective.
Yeah, so again, when Matty gave me the part for a couple of days, he gave me this area. Well, he said that in this area, if I want to put something here, then please do. And he's, I think you did say to me, Matty, didn't you? You said you can delete that pirate ship if you want.
Yeah.
But obviously, I saw an opportunity and I just themed it instead. Yeah, and as you say, I mean, I'm happy with it.
Did we name this?
No, I don't believe so.
Do you know what we should call it? It's literally
Jolly
just come
Roger.
to me as we looked at the overview. No, shipwrecked.
Shipwreck.
Oh, perfect.
That is perfect.
Yeah, there you go. So this is shipwrecked.
I love it.
Will be
Or
named
shipwreck.
Shipwreck. Yeah, it will be named
Shipwreck.
before it gets put on the workshop. Don't you worry.
Yeah. Make sure you put a P. Otherwise, we'll get in trouble.
Yeah, good point.
Keep it clean.
Okay, so this is Shipwreck.
Nice save. PG-13, guys. Come on. This is going on YouTube.
Right, and then we have this wonderful flat ride in the middle here, Matty.
Yeah, so this is the chair plane. I never actually named it. I'm going to be honest, I couldn't think of a name for it. Now, if you guys can think of something whilst we're here, by all means go for it. But I just couldn't think of anything. But what I wanted to do is have the chair plane go over water. So as you're actually on the ride itself, you actually go out and then over this water feature because it's me and I needed an excuse to put water in somewhere. So, and I wanted to do something different with a water feature. So rather than building a waterfall or a pond or anything like that, some of my normal tropes of water features, I thought, why not build a flat ride over the water instead, and then like kind of hold it up with rocks, which is what I've done. So it's kind of like just got this whole like scene underneath with like kind of boats and jetties and just like foliage and rocks around it, and it's literally just held up by rocks.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, yeah, you've done a very good job with theming it. and again, it's very popular. But I love what you've done with that, the water around it, and yeah, impressive. Well done, mate.
It was originally it was higher up, but it looked really stupid with the queue path and the exit path. It just looked really daft. So I ended up having to drop it, and it took me probably a good hour to drop it. Managed to sort it all out, move everything because all the fences had to be moved, all the foliage had to be moved, all the rocks had to be moved. Yeah, it just didn't quite look right. I believe that you saw it when it was elevated more, didn't you, Corey?
I did, yeah.
And the path to me just wasn't right. It didn't flow. The ride looked good, but the queue looked stupid. So yeah, I ended up changing. I don't know if you think it looks better.
The way you put it now, the way it is now, it definitely looks better than it did. But yeah, all in all, great job. Right, let's have a look at this beautifully constructed building.
Can we go in the? Can we go in the other door?
Which one?
So like the front door. That's the front door. Yeah.
I love the flowers you put on this building. This looks so pretty.
So we've got them. This is all the shops that are inside. Now, I'm not going to lie. This was inspired by NH99. Now, he's done a menu system. But obviously I didn't want to use the same one, so I've done my own. But the idea came from NH99. But instead I've actually put glass coverings over them as well. So it makes it look like kind of you take the glass front off and then replace the menu with whatever it is.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
And I took a leaf out of Jasmine's book with the foliage as well around this building.
Again, you've done a great job. It's like a massive food court. Brilliant.
Oh, I love the trees in here. Banana
and there's also
trees.
something else in here as well that you may not be expecting as we walk through. There may be something that might take you by surprise, actually.
What is it?
We've got a ride in here as well.
Yeah.
Indoor flat ride.
Yeah.
I really like the feel of this building. Like it feels like a plaza, but then it feels like an atrium too.
Yeah, this took me a good 2 days to make this, and it's I think it's 3,000 pieces or something like that. It's quite a hefty build, and this is what kind of like burnt me out as well. After I'd done this building, I literally couldn't play anymore. This steps was a nightmare. I couldn't really do anything with these steps, and I really tried, but it wasn't playing ball at all. So I kind of just had to go with that.
Yeah, this is nice. It's so hard to make buildings like this where there's a bottom level and a top level.
Yeah,
and
the stairs don't just always work.
Yeah, but this looks really good.
And there's viewpoints and all them plants as well, so you can just stand and just look over the ride as well. Well, yeah, I'm glad you like this building. This was my big like kind of part of this project was this building. This was my like big one contribution was this building, and this is the one that I was the most proud of, and quite out of my comfort zone as well. Building something like this, I literally just chucked the walls down and just went with it. It was like one of them, right, let's just chuck walls randomly and then go with it and work around it. And I wasn't even planning on putting a flat ride in originally, but it kind of like just kind of ended up that way.
See, to be honest with you, this is how I do my buildings. Like, I just put walls down in whatever directions and then just, turn it into a building. I never sort of plan out how my building's going to look. I just sort of do it as I go. And that's probably quite bad, but I don't know.
I do exactly the same, mate.
Yeah, I think everybody does that.
Yeah. I just wing it. I generally don't have plans. But not very often do I go in with a plan. I kind of like just wing it as I go.
That building looks immense. It's a lovely looking building. Brilliant. It's almost a centerpiece in the park.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be the centerpiece of this building, of this area at least. I wanted it to be kind of like the big food court area, and this is why kind of as people come around the park, this is going to be like, because what I thought was they're going to spend a lot of time in Jasmine's area, like kind of in the morning with all the kids, and then like kind of they're going to walk over here, and by the time they've got over here, it's going to be lunchtime. Yeah. So like they're going to come over here for like kind of the main lunch of the day before then carrying on and going on the other few attractions. That was kind of my thinking.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that
definitely.
looks good.
And then we have this beautifully constructed. What would you call this?
Like a boardwalk?
Yeah,
Yeah.
boardwalk. It's not really a pier, is it?
Mm-hmm.
More like a boardwalk. This is the reason I built the benches, because I wanted the benches in the centre, and even though I'd put path down here to try and do it, it just would not work, and I was getting so frustrated with it. So I was like, do you know what, game? If you're not going to allow me to do what I want to do, I'm just going to make my own. I was like Thanos. I'll be like, fine, I'll do it myself. So I did. I just made my own benches.
Right, and then what we
Yeah,
got down
that
here?
looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks brilliant. That little boardwalk area.
So that's a hotel, which is why people are going in there.
Okay.
Oh, that's so cute.
Now, all these buildings are custom-made buildings as well, none of them are blueprints. So, like what Jasmine said, I placed down all of the buildings, and I was like, how can I copy them, but make them my own at the same time, and say they're not blueprints.
Yeah.
So that's basically what I've done. I've kind of like taken the inspiration, except for this one. This building here is very much like the big building. I literally just chucked down some random walls and was like, I'll go with that. Whatever happens, happens.
There's some toilets in there. Some loony balloons.
I love that bell tower.
It doesn't work, unfortunately, and there's no sound effect of a bell tower,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
really frustrating, because I really wanted to like, kind of put a timer on it, so like kind of the bell tower goes off every hour, and like a chiming, but there's nothing really that sounds like one.
Yeah.
I was really disappointed.
Yeah, but it looks cool.
Why
does
put it
indeed.
in the game, but then not allow you to have a sound on it?
Yeah,
That's true.
That is true. Okay, so I think that brings us to one more thing left in this park. Cove Runner.
Cove Runner.
And I just want to start by saying that that is one hell of a sign. That is a brilliant sign.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, so while we walk up the queue line, Matty, do you want to walk us
So
through?
obviously we needed some kind of attraction over this side of the park, and the area that I had to build in was very, very restricted. Um, but I knew that I wanted a coaster here, and it took me a long time to get anything down here, because to the right of the ride looks quite undecorated. It's very much the same as the problem that Jasmine had on the other side of the park. That is the border of the park. I couldn't go any further across. So I was really limited with size, but I needed something here. So yeah, that's the actual ride itself is very, very small footprint. So it does kind of like come back on itself quite a lot. But I had a lot of fun building this, and it's the first time I've built one of these mine trains as well. I've never actually built one of these before.
Mm-hmm.
That's brilliant. Right, well, let's take a ride on Cove Runner. And that was Cove Runner. Okay, so I'll go first. First and foremost, what a coaster. So compact and so smooth. I love it. Absolutely love the way that it goes through the station building. Not once, but twice. That's absolutely brilliant. The fact that you've got it into this small corner of the park is just amazing. Everything right down to the lights going up the lift hill. Brilliant coaster, mate.
Thank you.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
not going to lie. There was quite a few exploit deletives as I was building this. It wasn't playing ball, and I was like, "Oh dear, it won't fit. Oh, whatever shall I do? Oh, you silly game, you."
I can imagine that's probably what you were saying. Um, what's it called? Yeah, I don't really see many of these coasters being built. I don't really see many people building this type of coaster. I know they're quite horrible to build, but I think you've done an excellent job with this. So well done, honestly, well done.
Thank you.
Jasmine, what do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, I love this coaster, and I love the feel of it too. Just walking into this station, and it's kind of dark and like like a little bit intimidating, but this is a nice addition to the park considering, there's not a lot of coasters in this park, and my coasters are kind of like kiddie coasters, and then you get over to this side, and this is more of an intermediate sort of coaster, but it's perfect. I feel like it's not too long. It's the perfect size, and I just love the interaction all throughout the whole thing. And really, I mean, I've been wanting to make a coaster that goes through the station more than once. Haven't been able to do it. This is such a good example of that. So, really, really good job, Maddie.
Thank you.
Excellent job indeed. And as we're looking at it, look at this photo booth as well as you come out the exit.
I've seen that somewhere before.
I have too. I think it does look familiar.
I didn't steal this off you at all.
So we have the photo booth for Cove Runner.
So there was actually a working ride for camera on that ride as well.
Yeah.
So
have a
if
look
you
at
actually
that.
like
It's
kind of
on
look
the
at the night as well, there is actually a working ride camera.
That's a nice little touch with the pointing
Yeah.
finger. I didn't even know that was a thing in the game. But no,
Yep,
really nice.
it's under,
touch,
just
and
under the
obviously
signs.
Backstage area as well. Very well done. Oh,
Yeah,
that's a
looks
good
good.
touch. That
Uh,
that is a
That's
good
that's
touch.
my little trademark. I do that on all of them.
Brilliant. Right, so let's take a
um,
look at this park at night. There we go. Look at that.
yeah.
I love the lighting in Jasmine's corner there.
I was just looking
That
at
that
that as
looks
well.
really
Yeah.
nice. Yeah, it
Um,
looks really vibrant.
yeah, I think all in all, we've lit up this park quite nicely. You could
Mhm.
use this as a day or night park, but oh, actually, on that, we should probably mention we're going to stick um, with the theming of the parks, but we're also going to stick with the timing of the parks as well. Some campaign parks are daytime parks, and some of them are specifically for night. So I think is it the sci-fi one that's the nighttime one?
There's a sci-fi one that's a nighttime. There's a
Mhm.
couple that are nighttime. I can't remember all of them off the top of my head. But there's also a dusk one as well. I believe the fairy tale one is a dawn park. I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. We'll see when we get there.
Yeah. So basically, we're gonna stick to the time zones and obviously the theming as well of each campaign park. Um, but yeah, guys, I think that is pretty much the end of this episode. It's been amazing. I think you've both done absolutely amazing jobs with the areas that you was given and the things that you've built. So well done to both of you.
Likewise to you as well, Corey.
Yeah, this has
Guys.
been really fun.
And thank you for putting it on your channel first as well.
Well, thank you for joining me. Hopefully
We've got a
Sam-
challenge. We've got a work cut out for the second park. You know, there's a great big kraken in the middle, and there's a car ride that we cannot delete.
Oh,
And it's a really small park as well. I tell you what, if you thought this park was hard, the second one's going to be really hard.
uh-oh. Well, we'll have to tune in next time to see how it goes. And on that, I think it's time to end the series. Episode.
On the series, we've already done one episode.
Yeah, that didn't come out right. Also, guys, as we said at the beginning, obviously this one's on my channel. The next one will be on M&J Games YouTube channel, and then it'll be on Matty's channel. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels so you don't miss an episode. yeah, and that's pretty much it. Thanks everyone for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.